Welcome to Monsterman.
Nar! After a long hiatus, which is better than a long hiatus, we're back.
Better than ever.
That's right.
What brings
Or
us
at
out
least
of
older.
yeah? What brings us out of our graves is Halloween.
Yeah, Horrortober time, Halloween. If we're not alive now doing stuff, what's the point?
Summer in real life takes us away for a while, and then Halloween comes and we're like, oh, we got to get back on the wagon.
I hate summer. I'm so glad it's over. I mean, even though I find ways to enjoy the sun, I want it to go away. So I'm thrilled right now.
Well, we are going to do our annual 31 movies for 31 days of October Halloween watch list using the book, which is a slightly different title this year, 31 Days of Halloween by Steve Hutchison, who every year sends us a new version of the book. And this is a dice game where you roll the dice twice. You get two numbers, 6-sided die, because now we're living in the age of Dungeons and Dragons. No 20-sided die.
Please.
And each number takes you to a different chapter with a category, and then basically you roll and then you scroll down to October 1st, October 2nd. So like 3, 1 is going to take you to a category, and then you go and find the day. You roll 31 days. So I have already rolled all but the last 3 days of October because this would take way too long.
You Rick rolled. We rolled it all one year, didn't we? Like, didn't we roll?
We rolled a
days?
lot of it. It's what it is. The PDF is so long to scroll through that if you get like a 6-6 and then a 1-1, I'm gonna get carpal tunnel syndrome by the time.
Yeah, that's too much. By the way, I love his new cover. Kudos to whoever did his cover this year. That's a killer cover.
And we should mention that Hunter and I are in this book. We are two contributors to this. We both submitted 31-day watch lists of our favorite movies or some of our favorite movies.
That was last year's edition, though, right?
We're in this one, too.
We are?
Oh, yeah.
We're so special. I love it. Now I'm really excited. Before I was just going through the motions. Now I'm excited.
I like your hat.
And I hope we roll one of our picks. Thank you. I'm waiting for winter. See, I'm excited the fall's here, and now I want winter to come so I can wear this hat more often.
I have a Halloween baseball hat.
Oh, I didn't even know. You know, I thought it was like a bird claw or something.
Looks
oh,
like
yeah.
Baltimore Orioles.
That's nice, man.
Okay, are you ready for October 1st?
I'm ready, man. Bring it on.
Okay, I rolled a 6-2. The category was kinky horror movies, and the movie was from 1996, Bordello of Blood.
Hey, isn't... Oh, that's not one of
Dennis Miller.
Brad's favorites.
No.
Yes.
This
hey, Cha-Cha.
Erica Eleniak from Baywatch.
This movie is actually... I know people crap all over this movie. I actually enjoy it.
Me too. It's got Corey Feldman.
How can you not like anything with Corey Feldman?
What's the redhead? The model. We saw her at Schiller.
Oh, God, we've seen so many people at Schiller.
Angie Everhart.
Oh, didn't she date Howard Stern? Isn't
Uh,
that her claim to fame?
That wouldn't surprise me if she did.
Chris Sarandon's in it, too.
That's right. He's a preacher.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fun, it's a horror comedy.
And then the guy who played Mickey in Seinfeld, It's Go Time.
Right.
So, Bordello of Blood, kinky horror movies.
That's October 1st.
October 1st. I think that's a good ease into October.
I already have my first movie of the October planned out. It's going to be The Relic.
That's interesting.
That monster movie. I haven't seen that since it came out. I'm dying to watch it again.
I will watch 31 movies or more, but I won't watch them every day.
Oh, I have to. It's a sickness. I don't know if I'll get to like 60 or 70 like I did last year.
I know, you got your Mets this year.
That's a big problem. Mets, a new job, a book deadline. I don't know. These are all conspiring against me, but I'm going to fight through it.
October 2nd, aquatic horror movies. This is where I like this book a lot. I never would have thought of watching this. The Bay from 2012.
Oh,
found footage.
That's a really good found footage movie.
Yeah, and nobody ever talks about it.
Isn't it Chesapeake Bay?
I think
like
it
that
is.
Cesspool.
Yeah, with those
Which,
like, gnarly,
it's not really fiction.
like giant amoeba things.
Yeah, that's a really cool movie. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind revisiting that. I'm gonna have to.
That's probably top 10 found footage.
It's definitely one of the better ones. Okay, I'm very happy to get to October 3rd because I rolled a 6-6, and 6-6 is contributor list. So I went and did You. Now, spoiler alert, later on in this, I rolled one of the same rolls that I had already done. So we had,
right.
So I was like, that's no fun. So I 6-6'd another one and pulled from my list. But your list goes first because this is
Wicked Smart.
Classic. From 1974, It's Alive.
That trilogy is so underrated. And most people just think there's just an It's Alive. But that's a Larry Cohen, man. You can't beat Larry Cohen at his craziest.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this on Final Guys. And
it's a bad baby. I've got the Blu-ray trilogy downstairs, man.
Again,
I'll be firing that up.
There was no doubt because I looked at what mine and yours were, and I was like, "Oh, we got to go with you on." I knew once I saw contributor, I said, "Oh, we gotta sneak both of us on this." And when I saw it, I was like, "It's Alive's got to be the one for this."
And I have often said, like, people ask if you could write like a continuing thing in a horror series. My answer is always, It's Alive. I have the idea for part 4, and I had an editor who knew Larry Cohen, and I was hoping it was going to happen, but it didn't.
Okay, October 4th. Let me mark these so I know which.
That's a Tuesday. The 4th is a Tuesday.
Black and white horror movies. This is right up your alley. Let me give you the year and see if you can guess it. 1941.
1941. Is it Frankenstein versus the Wolfman?
It's Frankenstein.
Wait, that's 40. Frankenstein's 41?
Either that or I screwed up the...
I thought it was earlier.
So do I.
Maybe
I think that does sound early. That does sound late.
31.
31.
Frankenstein's 31.
I messed up.
41 is when I had my bris.
Okay.
That's how I knew it wasn't that year.
See, this is humans doing this. Anyway, Frankenstein is one of your favorite movies.
Yeah. For the Universal monsters, I love Frankenstein and I love Creature from the Black Lagoon. Creature's a little more, but
I just watched Creature from the Black Lagoon last week, and I love the underwater photography in that.
Nowadays they go, oh, the leering male gaze.
Shut up. It's so funny because you can see that movie's influence on Jaws.
Yes, absolutely.
But Frankenstein, Young Frankenstein is one of my favorite movies, and I love going back and watching the original Frankenstein movies and seeing the where they're pulling from. And
yeah, because he was pulling from Frankenstein Bride and Son of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Mixed it all in there.
And it's gotten to the point where I've just seen Young Frankenstein so many times that when I watch Frankenstein every few years or whatever, there's just stuff I just automatically I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that's where they get this from.
And you know what? That's a great sad monster.
Yeah.
You feel really bad for the monster.
Oh, men in the Universal monster movies are most horror movies, but especially that and Creature from the Black Lagoon. Men are the worst.
Yeah.
Mankind.
Even the Wolfman. Mankind.
Okay, October 5th, 1980s horror movies. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, 1982.
First of all, I wish they stayed with the concept of we'll put out a new Halloween movie every year, but different. No Michael Myers. And I was just wearing my Halloween 3 shirt, and some guy looks and goes, "Hey, I like that shirt." He goes, "But that movie sucks." And I felt like punching him. Like, yeah, all right. Tell me all your great Michael Myers movies that are so much better than Tom Atkins.
That's the thing. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of that movie. I don't hate it. I hated it when it came out.
I loved it when it came out.
But what they didn't do when it came out was explain what they were doing with we're going to do an anthology. They just put it out and it was kind of like, where's Michael Myers? What's going on? They're doing something different. And then the story, it wasn't that compelling to me. I was like, okay, that was kind of dumb.
Dude, this crazy Irish guy finds a way. He's going to kill every child watching television, and he wins in the end. No matter what Tom Atkins tries, but they're not going to turn it off. So it's a movie about killing millions of kids.
Yeah, it was cool masks.
Brutally. You can buy them, I hear, at Spirit Halloween this year. The Silver Shamrock collection. So that's awesome.
So that's a good one. And you're right, because for all the no matter how you felt about it, I won't watch almost any of the other sequels until like the 2018 one.
I'll watch part 5 if Danielle Harris comes to my house and watches it with me.
Yes.
Just chilling. Other than that, 4 I'll watch.
4 and 5,
no
yeah.
way.
Well, whatever. The Danielle Harris, she's only in 4?
And 5. 5 she can't speak.
Oh, which is the one with the girl in the red dress? She's like her friend.
5? I can't. They blend in one. I will tell you, I work with one of the actors in Halloween Resurrection or H2O, I forget. But he was also the star of Final Destination 3.
Oh, wow.
Like the main star.
Wow. Got to get him on.
Yeah. And Pretty Little Liars. Yeah, you're right. You know what? We should get him on.
Pretty Little Liars?
Yeah.
With Ashley Benson?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, so I got to have a talk with him.
Okay, I got October 6th, Supernatural Horror Movies. This is where, again, the book speaketh. I never would have thought of this. I don't know if I've seen this whole movie.
The book speaketh.
Death Becomes Her from 1992. I think that's Robert Zemeckis.
That's the...
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Goldie Hawn and
yes.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. That's a fun movie. I never thought of it as a horror movie.
I know I've seen part of it, but I don't know if I've ever sat down and watched it start to finish. It was like there was a run where it was on HBO all the time, so I saw getting hit in the head and the head spinning around. That was like at the beginning of the CG. Look what we can do.
Yes, her neck got all twisted.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. My wife watched this a lot in the 90s, so I watched it at least twice, and then bits here and there. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. It seems too mainstream for me to consider it a horror movie, even though there's horrific things going on in it. But
the nice thing about this for the list is if you're with normies, this is a crowd pleasing. Oh, look, Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis, and Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, if your girl ain't into this horror stuff, this is maybe a way to ease her in.
Exactly.
It cost $55 million to make and made $150 million.
I'm surprised there wasn't 3 sequels.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get all the big stars. Like, I'm not coming back.
Daniel Baldwin in Death Becomes Her 2.
Random Baldwin.
William Baldwin and Kari Werler. Okay, October 7th, vampire horror movies.
There you go.
I loved this pick. Thank you, book. Blood Red Sky. I think this was 2021.
Oh, the airplane one.
Airplane one.
That was really good.
I'm telling you, all these, Twitter, somebody tell me a different vampire movie, and people are always throwing the same ones out. And this is one of those no, you got to check out Blood Red Sky. This is a lot of fun, this movie. A woman and her child get on a plane, and it turns out she's a vampire and she's got to stay in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's a lot to deal with, and things go crazy on the airplane.
It came out last year, and already I'm like, I should have thought of that like immediately when people ask me about vampire movies. Let's stick that in my head.
To be up the Twitter question that I mentioned, I suggested Boys from County Hell and Bliss.
That's two solid deep cuts right there.
It's all, and they're new. It's like, look, everybody knows about Martin. Great obscure pick. Everybody knows about The Hunger. How about some new stuff that's decent?
And check out our reviews of those movies on Final Guide.
Exactly. October 8th, futuristic horror movies. I have not seen this movie. I think this might be Jennifer Lawrence, but I don't know. I Am Mother. It's about a robot.
I Am Mother?
I Am Mother. I could be wrong about the Jennifer Lawrence part.
Well, there is Hilary Swank. Is she hot or not? Rose Byrne. Huh. I never heard of this movie.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. I think it's about a robot that's raising a child.
Yes, it's a post-apocalyptic robot raising a child movie. I mean, very common. You see this often on network television.
2019.
Huh.
So again,
that may be too sci-fi for me.
Well, futuristic horror movie. I don't know how violent the robot gets.
It's got the Swankster, so I'd watch it for that.
Hey man, she was on 90210 for a while.
Her career has spanned a lot. She's done a little bit of everything.
She won an Oscar, didn't she, for $1 Million Baby?
Yeah, now she's doing fucking movies where she's playing with a robot. But whatever. Got to pay the bills.
October 9th, ghost horror movies. Candyman, 1992.
Oh, yeah. Yawn Fest. Enjoy, everybody. Bees.
Candyman is one of those ones, I think I've seen it 2 or 3 times. I watched it a year or 2 ago, and it was fun to revisit, but I don't need to watch it that often because there's some really great scenes in that movie, but I don't love that movie.
I hold no affection for it. I did not like it when it first came out. I have not liked it upon 3 or 4 subsequent viewings. I never watched the remake.
I saw that.
Can't imagine putting myself through this anymore.
There's a lot to like. Virginia Madsen's so great in that, and there's some really great bloody scenes in it. The ending gets a little bit goofy.
It just never hit me. I don't know why. Tony Todd's awesome. He's a great kind of villain, but I don't know. There's a disconnect.
Yeah, like I said, I like to check it out every once. Once I like enough years have gone by that I've forgotten so much of it. Go back and watch it. And the interesting.
He really had those bees. I was gonna say he really had those bees in his mouth.
Yes, he did.
That's kind of badass.
The interesting thing about the remake or the reboot or whatever the hell they call it, they use the same like neighborhood and building, and that area has been like gentrified, so you get to see the difference from whenever the 90s.
Gentrification.
The G word. All right. This was another one that I was like, what? This is great. October 10th, 1960s horror movie. The Evil of Frankenstein from 1964.
That's a Hammer movie, right?
It's a Hammer movie. It's one of the, I think, I'm not sure if this is one of the Peter Cushing ones. I might have been in all of them except one. I think he's in this one. This is one of the middle ones. David Prowse is not Frankenstein. He's in one of the later Frankenstein. He's in the one without Peter Cushing.
In this, the monster's played by Kiwi Kingston.
Yes.
Who without makeup looks like the monster.
Here's the thing about Hammer Frankenstein movie, and I actually, in my head, I'm like, I need to go back and watch some of these. When I was a kid, I saw Hammer Frankenstein movies before I ever saw the Boris Karloff Frankenstein.
Oh wow!
So I remember the David Prowse one vividly. I remember the day I saw that one. And then I went back and watched the one where Christopher Lee is the monster.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he looks more like a zombie, which Frankenstein is.
Yeah. But I do like this. He goes back to town, finds the monster suspended in ice, and then gets the help of a hypnotist named Zoltan.
Yes.
Good Lord.
This is the makeup started to look more like a bad Boris Karloff knockoff in this one. Because they kind of stayed away from that look till they got to this one.
If you're going to imitate the best.
Yes. So that's cool. You got a Hammer Frankenstein movie, and it's one of the more obscure ones. Okay. October 11th, slasher movies. Scream 2, 1997.
No. Every year there's some of these movies where I'm like, nah,
yeah, you and I are both on record as not big Scream fans. So.
Yeah. If you are a big Scream fan, feel free to scream at us on social media.
Yeah.
We can take it.
I saw Scream 2 once.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's it. Once in the theater, and it was never to be seen again.
All right, here we go. October 13th, demon horror movies. Oh, wait, no, I'm ahead of myself.
Oh, forgot the 12th.
October 12th, surreal horror movies. Okay, this one, The Secret Window. Secret Window. I think that might be Johnny Depp.
That is. Oh.
I've not seen this movie.
This is the one where. Yeah, he's the writer in the cabin.
Yeah.
And he's being stalked by like John Turturro.
Yes.
Yeah, that's. Again, it's kind of horror adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
A fun movie though, and a Stephen King book.
I have not seen it.
For you, dude. It's got Timothy Hutton.
He's in that too.
It's got, the Dark Half in this. He's Charles Dutton, Maria Bello.
Maria Bello.
Maria Bello.
Oh, that's right. I saw the trailer for this.
I've seen this a couple of times. I like this movie. When Johnny Depp was starting to get weird.
You never hear about this one. When people are talking about Stephen King adaptations, you never hear about this one.
No. I don't know why. I think a lot of people don't even know it's a Stephen King book.
Right. Got freaking Johnny Depp in it, though, for God's sakes.
Yeah, he was great in it.
Okay. Now, October 13th. Demon horror movies. The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Oh, that's the one with Dexter's sister.
Yes.
Right? That's a fun movie.
Laura Linney.
Yeah. It's like a nice devil movie with a court case involved.
Yes. I love this movie.
Yeah. That's one of the better ones.
Exorcism scenes are awesome. Dexter's sister is magnificent in this movie.
Jennifer Carpenter.
And you feel horrible for Emily Rose in this movie.
It's based on the real exorcism of that girl, Annalise Michel.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you ever want to terrify yourself, just watch some YouTube clips and hear like the audio recordings and see some of the pictures. Like, oh, what that girl was going through. Whether it was real or not, she was going through something.
The scariest part of that movie, I thought, was not any of the exorcism scenes, even though that one in the barn when all the bugs are coming up out of the gun. It's awesome.
Yeah.
There are parts where Laura Linney's at home in the middle of the night and stuff's happening around her apartment. It's just creepy as hell.
You know what? I got to watch that movie again.
It's so good.
And I love Laura Linney.
Yeah. You watch Ozark?
I have not watched Ozark.
Oh, get on board. Okay, next one. Here we go. This is the other contributor list. So October 14th, we go to my list, and I don't think you're going to have any problem with watching Friday the 13th, Part 6.
Oh, my favorite of them all. Definitely won't have a problem with that.
Oh, God. It is my favorite one, too. And I recently went back and watched a bunch of them because I couldn't decide. It's been a while since I've watched Friday the 13th movies. So it's
right.
I I remember loving 4 because of the ending.
I will say 4 is the best of them all, but 6 is my favorite.
6 is my favorite. Once I was watching it, I was like, oh, that's right. This one is funny as hell. It's got awesome kills. Everything I like about Friday the 13th is in this movie.
If you kill a sweat hog early in the movie, I'm down.
I remember seeing it in the theater and being so surprised that Arnold Horshack died that quickly.
I know. You're like, he's got to be the star. Doesn't he have star power?
Before Drew Barrymore got killed in Scream and surprised the world, Horshack did it in this movie.
That's... I had a really bad day at work like a month ago, and I came home and I said, I got to put on Friday the 13th Part 6 just to make sure this day isn't total crap.
Oh, it's so good.
And I was so happy when it ended.
So, let's see.
What are we on, the 15th? We're halfway 15th, there?
We're halfway there, living on a prayer. Revenant horror movies. No idea what that means.
Okay.
But this was another cool one from the book. Thank you, book. Patchwork from 2015. This is a movie where, I don't know if it's 3 or 4 girls all wake up in an apartment and they've been Frankensteined. So it's like one body with different girl parts and all their personalities are in the body.
Dude, that sounds like it'd be a great double feature with Human Centipede.
Yeah. It's not quite as gross as that.
That, I've never heard of this movie.
It's fun. I saw it. It's worth a watch.
Patchwork.
Huh. Thank you, book. This is a good...
But this is why we do the book, because every year we discover like a handful of movies like, never heard of that.
It's also interesting to see the ones that like I've seen that you haven't seen, because we have like, if the Venn diagram, we've both seen so many horror movies, and it's funny when we get to the ones like, oh, you saw that? You've seen so many more horror movies than me. And then the very next one, oh, I've never even heard of that one. Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, this is why this is a great little game.
Okay, October 16th, found footage horror movies. As Above, So Below from 2014.
That's like, that movie is a funhouse carnival ride of a movie.
Yes.
It's a blast.
That takes place in the catacombs in France.
In France, yeah. And
Paris.
It stars the kid who eventually went on that Superstore show. Who played Jonah.
I never watched that show.
I went to the movies to see that. I went to a matinee when it came out, and it was a pretty packed matinee, and people were losing their minds. Like they were just having fun with it. It was a lot of laughter and stuff like nervous laughter, and then I said, oh, I'm sure when I watch it at home, it won't feel the same. It wasn't quite the same, but it was still fun. Like,
it's a fun
can't
movie.
Eliminate all the fun. Yeah.
The great thing about that, I've seen it twice, and it's another one of those ones that I'll watch it again in a year or two because I already forget how it ends. And then I watch it and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And look, I always wanted to go to the catacombs on the Paris. So I like when movies go to places that I wish I could go to myself.
Yes, I would love to go there. Okay, we are on the 17th. Horror anthology movies. Tales from the Hood, 1995.
Man, I have not seen that movie since it came out.
I have not seen it, but I've heard good things about it.
It's actually a very good movie. And I think it's on Shudder now.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, so I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on there. But it's got Clarence Williams III. That's all you need to know.
Like I said, this is like sort of on my to-do. You know what? Is the sequel to it popped up on Netflix or Shudder or something, and
right,
we were talking about
not as good.
Yeah, and I think that's when you guys were saying, "Oh no, the first one's good though." So
first one is good, and it's got Wings Hauser.
Ooh, Wings Hauser. I may watch that tonight when we're done with this. Okay, that was the 17th. 18th is torture horror movies, and we're going right to the cream of the crop. HELLRAISER, 1987.
Yeah, that is torture, for sure.
Yeah. It can't be...
That movie blew me away.
It can't just be all hostile.
No, please, dear God, no. Or Saw. When I saw like those Pinhead and his buddies, and then Frank reforming from the floor, I was like, "What the f am I watching, man?" I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a shit ton of fun.
The special effects at the very end are goofy, but
Yeah,
the Hellraiser is such a spectacular movie. And you know what it is? It's the Uncle Frank and the girlfriend. Because there's that whole... When you go in that movie, you just think it's going to be the Freddy or Jason boogeyman Pinhead picking off people. And then instead, there's this whole thing about this, you know, psychotic, perverted guy like in hell coming back, taking another guy's body.
yeah.
I mean,
It felt like a bait and switch, but a happy bait and switch.
yeah, and then the skinless body. But my favorite line of the whole movie is, "All I care about is new skin."
And ladies, if you're dating a guy who, like, in the middle of conversation says that to you, grab your car keys, stick them between your knuckles, and punch him as hard as you can right in the eye, and then run out the door. Because the night's not going to end well for you.
And man, Doug Bradley just has such fun anytime he says a line as Pinhead. He just loves to talk like Pinhead.
I know. And when you see him in real life, he's the anti-Pinhead. He's such a sweet guy.
All right. I mean, Hellraiser is obviously one of our favorite horror movies, so we can move on. This one, interesting. 1990s horror, October 19th. Blade, 1998.
It's funny. Again, that should be a horror movie because it is vampires, but I think of that as a comic book movie.
Me too. But like Jason watched this for Final Guys a couple months ago. You know?
It's solid. The first two Blade movies are really good.
Yeah. And
I'd rather watch them over Doctor Strange.
Well, the thing I loved about Blade was that was like the first movie that did that when they would kill the vampires, they would like kind of turn to ash with like this glowing cigarette, and I thought it looked awesome in that movie. The blood monster at the end's a little hokey.
That's all right. Wesley Snipes, I bet you he looks even the same. I bet he doesn't look he's aged.
He's in an episode of What We Do in the Shadows as Blade, and it's hilarious.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they have a vampire council with all these vampires from different movies.
Right.
Pee Wee Herman from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And,
wow. Norman Reedus is in Blade too.
Yes, he's the
and Ron Perlman.
Yep. Ryan Reynolds is
Chris
in the third one.
Jeez.
You got to read Patton Oswalt's account of filming Blade 3. It's hilarious. What a nightmare.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
He's funny as hell, man.
So that was the 19th, I think.
What?
The 20th.
20th. Oh, Halloween's almost ending.
Twisty horror movies. The Others from 2001.
Oh, because it's got a twist.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, I saw that in the theaters when it first came out, and it was dark and creepy and mysterious. And then the twist happens. You're like, oh! And then when I watched it again, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that is a... Once you know the twist, there was... Not like... I liked going back and watching it Sixth Sense again to see the stuff I missed the first time.
Right.
There's like the color red and all this other stuff. The Others, I saw it in the theater, really enjoyed it. And then when it would come on cable or something, I'd start watching and go, I don't know.
Yeah, because you know what it is? The ride isn't as much fun.
Yeah.
So you're not going to like saddle up for that. Now, my wife has watched it probably 24 times. But she's also the same person who has watched The Devil's Pass over 100 times.
There you go.
Easily. So we can't go by her taste.
I'll tell you what, though. That scene with the little girl, with she's got the veil over her face, that's awesome.
I mean, great, creepy stuff. So if you've never seen it, by all means, watch it.
That movie was in the wake of The Sixth Sense. It came out like a year later. Yep. And that kind of... Everybody was jonesing for something else, and that delivered.
It did, and then nothing else did.
Yeah. Okay, here's an interesting one. The 21st, lycanthrope horror movies.
Lots of verbals, you people out there.
Sleepwalkers, 2002. That's
Oh,
the Stephen
that's
King.
the one. Yes. Oh my God, that will be so weird.
Are they wolves or cats?
Well, they don't like cats.
Lycanthropes.
Yeah. So cats don't like them, and vice versa.
Right. That's the one that's got some incest going.
There is some great incest with Machen Amick. Oh, Alice Krieg. And Brian Krause. But Stephen King book, Mick Garris directed it.
Yes.
So it's not a miniseries. But this is a fun
I haven't seen this movie in 20 years.
If you watch this movie, all you're going to, like, what you'll take away from it, Ron Perlman's in this one too. Santos and Johnny, the song. Just
Sleepwalker.
Yep. Clive Barker is in it as a forensic tech. So is Joe Dante, Toby Hooper.
Wow.
Stephen King, John Landis.
They have the whole
crazy.
gig. I gotta watch that again. That was on cable in the 90s all the time.
Yes, and it's so strange. Like normal people are like, what the hell is going on here?
Okay, let's get moving here. School horror movies for October 22nd. Ginger Snaps, another werewolf movie. 2000.
Not even one of the sequels. The original is fantastic.
Good movie. What's the name of it?
If you have teenager girls, watch it with them.
What's the name of the actress in that? She's awesome.
Oh. Hold on. Look it up because, it's late and I can't think straight. It is Emily Perkins, Catherine Isabel. Yeah. Oh, Mimi Rogers is in it.
Yeah, Ginger Snaps is great. That's the coming of age girls in high school.
That's a horror movie we can say, oh yeah, it's not just what you see on the screen. There's other messages in there that are worth listening to. Most times they're not. You could just discard their dumb message.
Good movie to pair with Jennifer's Body.
Well, I'd like to pair Jennifer's Body with my own.
Oh yeah. Okay. The 23rd Gothic horror movies from 2010, The Wolfman, with Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins.
Oh.
I think Emily Blunt.
I had high hopes for that, and they were dashed quickly.
I really didn't like the werewolf fight at the end of that movie.
I didn't like anything. It was a mess. That's what I remember. I just walked away going, this is a mess.
I liked a couple of the transformation scenes. The one where he's in like the school or something like that with everybody watching him. That was kind of cool. But...
No, I don't remember anything.
Yeah,
Emily Blunt was in it, so was Hugo Weaving.
Yes. Yeah, so, I'm not a huge fan of that one either. But...
No. I mean, look, if you haven't watched it and you like werewolves...
You should definitely check it out.
Probably you got to add it on there.
Don't take our word for it. You may not like what we like. And
Charlie Chaplin's daughter is in it.
Oh.
if you need one more reason to go watch it.
Okay, 1024. Horror movies are so bad they're good. Interesting. Night of the Demons from 1988.
I'm going to contest that. I don't think it's so bad it's good. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's just like a great schlocky horror movie.
Look, any movie where you're sticking a lipstick and a nipple?
Yeah, I mean, Linnea Quigley. This is one of her... on the Mount Rushmore of Linnea Quigley movies.
It's close to the top.
Yeah.
I do also like the 2009 remake.
Yes, with Shannon Elizabeth.
Yes, and Diora Baird and all those people. But yeah, Kevin Tenney, he made this movie. He also did Witchboard.
The thing about this one for me is just it reminds me of the golden age of the video store. This was... at the height of like me and my buddy Tom going and finding, anything, along the basket case and Maniac and, whatever we could find, Evil Dead.
Right.
This was one of those ones you watch and you're like, oh, What's up with the
Yeah,
lipstick?
it was a happy surprise and it became a staple. So it has nostalgia for those of us
Yeah.
in the 80s. I don't know how new folks will take to it, but if you don't like it, go watch the remake.
Yeah. The 25th. Zombie horror movies. This is a beautiful
First
thing.
one.
Dawn of the Dead from 1978.
Oh, the right one. The one that totally rewired me forever.
This is in my top 10 horror movies of all time. High up on it.
It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And I loved all the parts even when they're just in the mall.
Yeah.
Not necessarily fighting zombies.
Who's the guy, Greg? He does the special effects for like the Walking Dead and a lot
Nicotero.
of Nicotero. I saw something with him recently talking about this. I think it was on the Shudder 101 Scariest Moments.
Oh yeah, I've watched the first 3.
And he basically said, while I was watching this movie, I changed. Because my DNA was unwrapped and then rewrapped. And I was like, yes, me too. Like it was like I felt like I graduated horror school or something. Like I've just gone from like a horror fan to like a serious horror fan.
Yeah, we saw something that nobody had ever seen before, and I just remember because I went to the movie theater with my dad, and he was like all like nauseated from it, and I wasn't, and I just felt like the grasshopper is now the master.
Yeah.
And then I wished everyone I knew to be dead so I could take over the nearby mall with a couple of people.
Yes. And then how many conversations have you had like us two where you're just like, we're out having Chinese food talking like, all right, so if the zombies came now, what would we do?
Yeah. I still will look at places and I'll be like, oh, too many windows.
Yeah.
This is not defensible. Yeah, I know. And the special effects by Tom Savini are just gagging.
One
realistic.
thing he said about it in that show was if he could go back, he wishes they would go back and treat the red in the blood.
Redo the blood.
Yeah.
Yes. But that scene where they pull that guy's guts open and then are pulling his head away while he's screaming, oh my Lord.
Yeah, the arm and the
blood pressure cuff. Yeah, nothing like watching that as like a 10 or 11-year-old.
When Roger gets bit in the leg,
devastating. I'm going to try
not to
come back.
1026 apocalyptic horror movies. We are on a freaking run right now. 1978 Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
The best of all the versions.
Yes.
The best of all 4. Or there might be 5 at this point.
Jeff Goldblum. Leonard Nimoy. What's her name from Animal House and Indiana Jones? Karen Allen.
Karen Allen. I always think Maude Adams. Brooke Adams. It's Brooke Adams. And Veronica Cartwright from Alien.
Yeah. Such a good movie. And one of the most classic endings ever.
Fantastic ending. Everything. That's like, I remember watching that feeling like this is an adult horror movie. Like, this isn't for kids. This isn't made for like a teenagers making out in movie theater. This is really serious stuff.
Those pods were creepy as hell.
And gross. And watching Donald Sutherland as the health inspector find rat turds.
Yes. It's a caper.
You eat it.
Okay, we are coming in the last two. October 27th.
All right.
1970s horror movies. I like the fact that we're not getting this one on Halloween. It's Halloween. Like my hat.
All right. I've never watched Halloween on Halloween.
No, I like to watch it earlier in the month. Like maybe like around this time.
Because, yeah, like Halloween day, I take off. So in the morning time, early afternoon, I'll watch something. But it's got to be something pithy and light. And then I'm so freaking hammered and exhausted by the end of the day, I can't watch anything. So Halloween is reserved for
Halloween really sets the
little stuff.
mood. Like you want to get that in the last 2 weeks somewhere.
Yes, that's the last 2 weeks. I will never watch it in the first 2 weeks. Halloween 3 I will, but not 1.
Okay. The 28th, plausible horror movies. I'm telling you, the last couple we're doing are all from my all-time list. Silence of the Lambs, 1991.
Oh, yeah, Jesus. This is the best roles that we've had for a month so far.
Yes.
There's only been one movie where I'm like, no, Scream 2.
Yeah, I remember when I did this, I was like, Jesus, got Dawn of the Dead, Halloween, and Silence of the Lambs all bunched up like that. I'm like, this is what I actually might watch anyway. Because
this might have said it.
I have the box set of Dawn of the Dead that I bust out in October. And there's 4 different movies, so I've watched the Dario Argento cut, and there's an extended one or whatever. So
right. That's awesome.
Silence of the Lambs, though. I mean, I saw that movie several times in the theater. It's not just one of my favorite horror movies. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yep. And I always that's a Jackie. Jaws and Silence. Those are Jack things. And vampires.
And I got to tell you, in the theater, when Jodie Foster goes into the basement after Buffalo Bill, I mean, you could feel the tension in that movie theater. It was palpable.
Wow.
People were.
I should do my Buffalo Bill right now. Hold on. Are we ready to roll now?
We're ready to roll. I need to get the book ready.
Well, I'll let you all know. Let me get to the screen so I can see what I'm doing. I haven't been able to see myself this whole time. So, if you need dice for a dice game, go to another game, Yahtzee, because there's always 5 dice in there. But you only need 2 for this game. All right.
Okay, so we need...
I have my cup. I wish it was my red Solo cup. There we go. Got a 1 and a 5. Show the camera. A 1.
All right, let's go to 1-5, and if we get a repeat, then we'll go.
There. No repeats allowed. Although the list has been so good, maybe it's worth watching one of these again.
Almost there. Stay on target. Almost there.
Gotta get a nice bound book hardcover.
Okay, this was the 29th.
Holding. Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Are we still on a roll?
Black and white horror movies.
All right.
This is going to be a controversial one. October 29th is 2012's Frankenweenie.
The cartoon?
The cartoon. Tim Burton.
Why do I feel we have rolled Frankenweenie before?
We must have.
I'm getting deja vu. Well, I guess that's one if you got the kids over, like the little kids. You know, maybe you've been shut away from them for the whole month watching your adult movies. Now maybe get out and be with your child for like an hour and a half. So I approve of this. I'm not going to watch it, but I approve of it because I got no little kids.
Okay, October 30th.
The 30th. Oh, Snake Eyes. 1-1. Hopefully you don't have to go far, right?
I don't. 1-1 is plausible horror movies.
Death in the Belfry. Oh, what's that on the ceiling? I don't want to look. He's clicking away. He's looking.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. Uh-oh. October 29th was Jaws. October 30th, though.
Yes.
Jaws is not an October movie, though.
We did it in September. We don't need October.
October 30th, you're going to like this. Misery, 1990.
Yes, Mr. Man! Get in the cock-a-doodie car! Oh, I just had this book in my hand at the library today. I'm like, do I read this for Horrortober? I still might. This is a great movie. And every writer's fear.
One of the most unnerving scenes in horror history.
I have been terrified of Steve Barnard hobbling me for several years now. Oh, man. All right, so that's a good one.
It is. All right, moment of truth. Halloween.
This is Halloween. So traditionally, we roll a crap movie for Halloween every year.
And if it sucks, we're going to re-roll.
Which, I mean, it works for me. If I had to watch a crap movie, that's the day to do it. Oh, you're going to have to do some paging. A 4 and a 5.
All right. Give me a second.
We need, like, music, interstitial music next year.
He's got to get a programmer so you can just type in the numbers. What was it? 4?
Can we get the girls who jump on trampolines?
What were the numbers?
A 4 and a 5. 4 y 5. I'm not going to put this away in case you're demanding I roll again.
Well, if we'll go to 5-4 first.
Is that the easiest to get to?
Well, we'll just switch the numbers so that.
Gotcha.
That's how there were a couple of times where I was like, I needed to switch them up. I would just switch the dice order.
Oh, this is rigged. I thought this game was legit.
No, if you don't want to have repeats.
I want an archive of an overhead camera shot of you doing this. I want to see every roll. I want to see you look it up, and I want it saved. That's for Patreon.
I didn't want to have 3 black and white horror movies in a row.
Could you imagine anyone on Patreon paying to see you sitting in your living room rolling dice?
All right, 4, 5. Oh, you're going to hate this. No, wait. No, I'm in the wrong place.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, keeping with tradition. I can usually wipe my butt with the Halloween roll. Oh, he's confused. I don't like this look.
War horror movies. We're going to have to discuss this
I don't
one.
think I've ever heard this category in these books.
October 31st, 1997, Starship Troopers.
That's not a horror movie. I'm sorry.
You want to go to 5-4, see what that is?
Yes. And then I will say war horror movie, Overlord.
Yes.
So if you want to watch a war horror movie, watch Overlord. Starship Troopers. We got to have a talk with this guy. Maybe he should send us this list in advance of publication so we can weed out the ones that just don't apply.
Okay, here we are, 5-4.
Is this any better? If it's horror genre, at least it's better. Oh no.
5-4 is martial arts horror movies.
What?
Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master.
Dude, I will take that over Starship Troopers. So yes, finish with Freddy. Why not? I haven't seen that movie.
I watched it this year. And that's the one with the pizza. This is the one they kill Kincaid and Joey at like the beginning of the movie. They kill the rest of the Dream Warriors. They have a different girl playing what's her name? Patricia Arquette's character.
Well, she had better things to do.
And it's basically this movie is great Freddy scenes and then rolling your eyes till the next Freddy scene.
and set the die. The die was cast for the rest of the series. This is what it's going to be like. Mm-hmm. Dude, but I will take... You know what? That to me would be a Halloween Day movie to watch. It's light, it's pithy.
And, I mean, everybody's going to recommend Nightmare on Elm Street or Dream Warriors because they're the best ones. So if you're looking to change it up, check out this. This one, I think, also has the Roach Motel.
Oh. If it's got the pizza in the motel, I'm in.
Yeah, it's got good Freddy stuff. There's the Freddy going through like a shark fin at the beginning.
Oh, man. I totally forgot this whole movie. All right, I like it. I'm actually going to put it on my list. I don't know if it'll be Halloween Day, but it's going to be on my list.
I went through and watched a bunch. I still have 1 or 2 Nightmare on Elm Streets that I was trying to catch up. I need to watch like 5. The 3D one. Ugh.
Torture.
Anyway, though, that's part of the fun of this. I think, like Misery, I wouldn't have thought to watch Misery and Halloween. I don't think of that as a Halloween, but that is a good horror movie. Another good one
Yeah.
of the best Stephen King adaptations. Elm
By
Street
far.
4. You know, it's in the
I dig it. Frankenweenie. I don't know.
for the kids.
To kidnap a kid.
That you can watch that at Disney Plus, I think.
If you lure your children into a van with candy,
I mean, if you're a
Frankenweenie.
Frankenstein fan, you've got Frankenstein, Evil of Frankenstein, and Frankenweenie.
A Frankenweenie. I've got black and white Frankenstein, color Frankenstein, and very colorful Frankenstein.
So you can get this book at terror.ca is the website, and click on the books link, or go
He's
to Amazon.
Canadian?
I don't know.
Hey.
Go to Amazon. Just look up 31 Days of Halloween. It's a dice game. The old name of the book was 31 Days of Terror. Tell them Monster Men sent you. We are in the book. Our picture and our lists are in it. If you buy the book, let us know. Whether you use the book or not, go to Facebook or Twitter or YouTube comments and let us know what you're watching. Or if you dare do our list exactly, let us know. Hunter, don't you have a prize for people? Do our list?
I do have a prize. So if you watch these movies that we rolled, I will give you if you reach out to me. I don't know how we're going to prove this. We're going to have to find some way to prove this.
Now, last year, the winner took pictures every day.
Maybe that. All right, that's what you got to take pictures of your TV screen. But you will at least, you're going to get some Hunter Say merch, like maybe Swamp Monster Massacre, maybe To the Devil a Cryptid, maybe My Creature. I don't know. One of those. So one or two or maybe more. It depends. Especially if I pack it up on Halloween. Might be so drunk I don't even know what I'm putting in there.
All right. Okay. That's the Halloween list. We'll also print it out and post it on Twitter and stuff like that in a couple of days. So
We have done it again.
And this kicks off Halloween season, so we'll see you soon for our pumpkin ale and our Halloween specials coming up soon.
Yeah, we're not going to disappear until Halloween's over.
Yeah,
then.
till
knows?
about March.
All right, this is awesome.
All right.
Now I want to go downstairs and watch horror movies.
All right. See you next time on Monster Men.
Monster Men.
Monster